Hello everyone, just welcome to the channel. I just want to kind of introduce myself before I get into kind of what we're going to be looking at today. So my name's David and I'm absolutely passionate about kind of sim racing. So today we are going to be looking at the Trak Racer Formula 1 Racing Cockpit, which is actually new to the market, which I'm really excited to be one of the first to kind of try it out, because I've always kind of been into open wheel sim racing. So it should be very interesting. But I just want to give a quick kind of background on my sim racing experience, my kind of racing rigs I've had in that, before we kind of get to the unboxing and the actual looking at the racing rig. So I've been sim racing now for around kind of 5 years. Getting into kind of sim racing, someone introduced me to iRacing about 5 years ago. So since then I've been quite passionate about, you know, different racing titles like Assetto Corsa, Race Room, iRacing, Project Cars. So I've had the Wheelstand Pro. I had that for about 6 months. I then tried the GT Omega stand, which I owned, for around, I would say, another 6 months. I then had the next level wheel stand, which was the most solid of them all. But I always wanted, maybe, it was always like a progressive thing that I wanted that little bit more with sim racing. And looking at some amazing racing rigs that people have, I started to look at kind of what there was out on the market. Now I started off with the GT Omega Pro. I kind of saw the Trak Racer RS8 and I kind of liked it because it had the whole combination of having everything built in one. So the actual monitor stand was built into the racing cockpit. That's what really appealed to me the most. Now I've actually got the Trak Racer Formula 1 cockpit, which we're going to be looking at today. There's not many on the market, and when they are, they're pretty expensive. Now don't get me wrong, this one is quite expensive, but there's definitely ones that are a lot more money than this. So today what we're going to be doing, because I'm not going to bore you kind of with anymore, but today we're going to be looking at the unboxing of you know, the racing rig. Then we'll have a little bit of a look at kind of what the adjustability of it is, how comfortable it is, and I'll just give my kind of impressions of it, kind of pros and cons of it. Okay, so I'm just sat on the rig. You can see kind of the position I'm at. It feels very comfortable. Just about to start up a race actually in iRacing in the Formula Renault. So it should be quite fun to see what it's like. Okay, so here goes. Okay, so actually already I can feel the vibrations coming through the whole rig really well. That's something that you know, can be quite different actually between rigs. But I can actually feel it come all the way through the pedal plate. It's kind of like having a butt kicker in a way, I guess. bit fast around there.
Just going to speed up the video here so we don't have to kind of watch the whole lap in slow motion. And then we'll get on to actually talking about the rig after this. So enjoy it, guys.
Looking at the pedal deck first, you can see that you can adjust it a lot actually. There's these bits you can slide it along these rails on both sides. So you can move the pedals backwards and forwards, which I think is a nice feature. You can also, I don't know if I can show you here, there's a bolt here and there's a bolt down the bottom. Now you can swivel that backwards and up and down to kind of the angle you like. So you have a lot of adjustability with the pedal plate, and it's actually really solid. Now you've got the bars on kind of the sides, but it doesn't affect it at all because it's so far back. I've got the T3PA Pro pedals, and I don't have these in inverted, although I did try it. I prefer it like this with the position and everything. So all in all, I'm really happy with the pedal plate and the adjustability of it. Next, just looking at the wheel plate, and I've got the Thrustmaster TX with the Thrustmaster F1 wheel on there. Now this wheel plate is very similar to the Trak Racer RS8, which I actually did a review on as well, and I'll leave that in the description. Where the same, it had the 4 bolts, so 2 on each side where you could swivel it up and down. But what's different here is they've got the really kind of big, thick, I'm not sure if it's steel, I think it is, and they have the 2 big bars coming down here, and they're welded into the bottom. Now, as I was saying, when I was driving, I noticed that actually you feel a lot of vibration through that, which is really nice, and it's, you know, you don't really get any movement like that. So looking at the seat lastly, and I think one of my cons actually with the RS8 was the seat wasn't that comfortable. Now they've made a big difference here. There's I'll kind of show you a closer look, but if I pull this bit out, you can see it velcros out, and it's very kind of thick padding, and this padding goes all the way down the seat, pretty much to support you everywhere you are. Now it's a fixed seat, so it doesn't kind of go back or anything like that. Now with the previous Trak Racer I had, again you can move it down into the different individual holes, so here and here, so you can adjust the angle of it and also the height of it really. Again, it's on sliders, so you can move it kind of forwards and backwards, but the angle of the actual seat is very, very different to kind of any rig I've ever used, because it's the Formula style. I also made a mouse modification to the rig, which I think works really well, because I like to be able to use my mouse while racing and everything. Now, something I actually noticed is there's different holes in places here. Now, I was thinking, which I might talk to kind of Trak Racer, because I think you could maybe put I'm not sure how you do it exactly, but a bar up here, and then maybe a swinging keyboard arm on that. Because I think it'd be nice to have the swinging keyboard as well as the kind of mouse on that side. So, and I've noticed also there's other holes back here and on the other side. Now I think they might be for speaker mounts. My overall impression of the rig is actually very good. I definitely, you know, there are some improvements that could be done, and one of the things I didn't mention was the putting together of it all. It wasn't really user friendly. I did get a little bit frustrated at times, but that's definitely something that they could improve on. But you know, once it's together, it's fine. There's no problem with that at all. Just a look at the Formula 1 cockpit from Trak Racer, and I will leave a discount in the description below where you can buy any kind of Trak Racer product, whether it be the single monitor, triple monitor, the RS6 cockpit, the RS8 cockpit, or the new Formula cockpit. So you can use that discount code on any of them. If you really like the video, please give me a like, subscribe, I'd really appreciate that. And if you want any kind of questions asked or anything like that, please leave a comment below, and I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. And just say thank you very much everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.